The morning bell breaks me out of my sleep. I'm in Fenrir's base, and it's the second day after we returned to Suzushiro. My head's throbbing with pain, and I reflexively rub my temple. Voice makes me look up, and I see Rain, all dressed up and ready. Put up a tough front. Sure, I can live on like this just fine, but losing my dear memories makes me feel a bit dejected. It's good to see you at all, Shizel. How you doing? Major Shizel enters the room. Rin and I both salute her. Oh god, yes. She throws me a towel and beckons me. Oh god, yes. Show me how you exercise, Shizel. Let me see the muscles and work. It's our second day in Fenrir, and Major Shizel is training us all over again. Likewise, ma'am. She smiles at me. Oh, hell yeah. She's covered in sweat, making her dark skin shine with a beautiful glint. Oh, hell yeah. I glance at Mohawk. He's folding his arms like he always does. I don't think the towering man is sweating a single drop. I mean, look at the dude. When you look at how, you know, smaller the stature is between like Shizel, Rain, and yourself, and then you look at Mohawk, like, yeah, I doubt he's gonna need a lot more, oomph to actually get himself to sweat. For a cyber soldier, he's pretty tough. Confidently extends his hand toward me. Looks as large as a bear's. Completely covers my own when I shake it. He knows, though, changing his expression. I mean, it sure looks like it. I love that little smile. Well, dancing is the foundation of a warrior. Can't tell if he's serious, but it's clear that his skills are no joke. Oh god. Okay. I unwittingly crack a smile. Good to train your body and all. Moving my unit suits me way better. Yeah, I like moving my unit too. What? You return to the base and get right to it. This will be some good pre-breakfast exercise. Alright. Alright. I do want to look at equipment real quick. Just because if you look under the force crash section, there's this extra area here where it feels like there should be something more. Right? Feels like there should be something more. I'm just saying, I don't know if there actually will be something more, but it feels like there should be something more. God, that max combo 78. Ooh, that initializer fucks. If you can get it to work right, if you can land it properly, oh, it's sexy. It's sexy. Anyway, not much I think I need to look at in the setup menu right now. There's nothing I really want out of development, personally. Nothing that really screams my name. I really like the setup I have. Right now I just gotta save up to like boost up some plugins I have. Once I become my simulacrum, I hear my old man's voice from reality.
息子の戦いっぷりを見られるとは感無量だが。
任せとけ、大佐。これでも俺たちは素人じゃない。文字通り朝飯前ってやつ。
その息だ、坊主。
坊主はやめてほしいものですね、大佐殿。
He doesn't have to tell me anything like that. I know I can't mess up with him watching. Oh, big guy. Hell yeah.
こうでいい。無論準備はできているぜ。よし。
Oh, I grasped a brutish battle axe. It'll more than just hurt if I take that thing head on. Oh, spread bomb. Goddamn, that's what I was trying to do. I fucked it. Oh, what the fuck? How did that happen? Ow. Oh, what the fuck? Ow, fuck, ow, fuck, ow, fuck, ow, fuck, ow. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. This man throws the battle axe. It's kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. Oh god, he's got like boomerang shits. Oh fuck, yep, that's what got me last time. I realized way too late what was happening. Oh, don't make that noise. The Dreadlance. Cool. Thank you.
怠慢は得意なんだ。学園生時代から経験を積んでいるからな。
This is true.
よくやった、高注意。訓練は終了だ。
や。
Bada bing. I fucking love that initial. After the mock battle, we go through a briefing while having a light coffee breakfast. Oh, hell yeah.
鈴代氏は諸君らも知っているように密造ナノの供給源だ。そしてもう一つ、鈴代氏はドミニオンの潜伏先でもある。そしてナノ密造業者にはドミニオンの息がかかっていて、
つまり都市ぐるみでナノを密造していたと。いや。
He raises his hand and sighs.
ここまでは基地の情報。そして門倉中尉から提供されたデータは
Oh yeah, told Rain to give Fenrir the data we had. Some of it was protected, but it looks like that wasn't much of a problem for Fenrir's equipment.
門倉中尉が潜入した構造体の防衛に当たっていた未確認タイプのウイルスの残骸データ。その返答によると、ハイブリッドウイルスの開発には非常に高度なナノ技術プログラムのソースが流用。アングラのプログラマーは自分の署名代わりに癖のあるコードを故意に使用することがある。担当直入に言おう。ハイブリッドウイルスはドミニオンと CDF の機体データをもとに。
どういうことですか？
どうしてそんなウイルスを作ったのかは知らん。作ったやつにでも聞け。
しかし所属を照合できないようなウイルスを持ち。
そうだ、このウイルスはモグリの傭兵部隊によって実験的に用いられ。
モグリの傭兵。
最近になってよく聞くのはダインスレイブと名乗っている部隊です。
ダーインスレイブのような無認可の傭兵部隊は市議会の一部から秘密裏に庇護を受けることで活動できている。
待ってくださいよ。ドミニオンと CDF、 そしてドレクスラー機関。ドレクスラー機関がアセンブラを再び作っているという事実の発覚を恐れ、例のアジト構造体を爆破。
そういうことになったそう。
Rain nods. My own words give me a better understanding of the situation. Feels like part of the fog around my head is lifted.
しかし爆破 のような目立つ手段を使ったのは
ゴートがすぐそこまで来てたからじゃねえのか。
The old man finally speaks
統
up.
合政府はずっと密造ナノ市場に目をつけてきた。介入の機会を伺っていたと言っていいだろう。アセンブラの開発をしていたなどと知れたら鈴代氏の自治もおしまいだ。
今になって証拠隠滅を図ったということは、議員はアセンブラの存在を知らなかったのでしょう。
おそらくな。だが証拠隠滅は失敗した。仮想の施設は吹き飛んだが、我々はデータを掴んでいる。ドレクスラーの連中の行方は知れないままだが、データを調べればつるんでいた議員も判明するだろう。
She forms a pleased smile. I, on the other hand, don't see anything to be pleased about.
そうさ、アセンブラは完成寸前だったんですよ。あの場での開発データは失われても、アセンブラの現物がどこかにあるとしたら、連中がテロ行為に出ないとも限りません。
焦るな、注意。焦って動けばかえって相手を刺激することになる。
そりゃ分かっていますが、
幸い我々がデータを持っていることは。
でも
我々の任務はドレクスラー機関、特に栗原直樹の捕獲にある。アセンブラや黒幕議員の追及は本筋の仕事じゃない。
なんだよ、アセンブラができようができまいが、ドレクスラー機関のメンバーさえ捕まえられればいいって言いたいのか。
注意、口を慎め。父、
いいじゃないか。せっかく息子がフランクに話しかけているんだ。多少は多めに見てやろう。ああ、こう。
いえ、申し訳ありませんでした。
I don't like doing it, but I hold my emotions back and give him a formal bow.
いずれにせよ栗原を捕らえればアセンブラもそれ以上作れなくなる。あとはアセンブラの現物なんてものがすでに存在していたとしても。
まだ口にすることはできんが。
だが誓ってもいい。俺たちはドミニオンやらその手の連中には雇われん。
いや、
That's the only answer I can give here. I'm just a member of Fenrir right now, and I can't force my superior to give me classified info. My head understands that perfectly, but my heart has trouble accepting it. Suddenly get a headache bad enough to make me grimace.
どうしたこう。今のでへそを曲げた。
当たり前だ。
大丈夫ですか？
調子が悪そうだな。やはり一度医者。
いや、
After the briefing, I leave the base again. What I see before me is a weathered runway and a bunch of aircraft resting their wings. This is the Suzushiro Airport. Salty air here carries an unpleasant reek.
無駄に広いよな。V トール機の普及以前に作られた空港だけのことはある。
今も使われている空港なのに。
夏草やつわものどもが夢の後。ここも大戦の頃は衆軍航空部隊の連中で賑わっていたもんだがな。
Turn around and see my old man go down the ramp. Major Shiesel and Mohawk are with him too.
注意、これから予定は？
特にはありませんが。
ならアーク社までお使いに行ってきてくれんか。
Oh, so we are gonna end up going to the Ark.
お使いですか？任務の詳細は？タイに加わったといえ、ガキの使い扱いはごめんですよ。
返事はやーだ。注意、何度も言わせるな。
Major Shiesel doesn't hesitate to scold me.
いや、申し訳ありません。
父親相手で調子が狂っているのはわかる。だが気をつけてくれ。タイの指揮に関わる。任務はアーク社社長に面会すること。
Those words is her last. Major Shiesel goes away somewhere.
怖い女だろう、少佐殿は。
Yeah, but like in a hot
妙
way.
な言い方ですね、大佐殿。少佐殿とはいろいろとお付き合いが長いんです。
I speak in a soft tone, remembering that one time Shiesel visited us when Mom was sick.
もう周りに他の兵もいないから気軽に話せよ。
He slaps me on the shoulder. It actually hurts.
あいつと俺は腐れんってやつだな。お前と霧島少尉の関係みたいなもので、男と女の関係とはちょっと違う。
レインが。
そうだが許してやれ。俺がしつこく聞き出したんだ。
He puts on a strained face, places his hand on my shoulder. The expression is unlike him. Combined with the palm's warmth, it makes me feel strangely
お
uncomfortable.
前には
一体。
あのクリスマスの日、事故発生を聞いて、俺は V トールで青春に駆けつけた。結局、何もしてやれなかった。もしグングニールの狙撃がなければ、なんて。それもまた言い訳になっちまうがな。
今さらいいよ、親父。
Back then, I'd even considered that he would come to help me. Our relationship as father and son was already failing at that point.
とにかく、俺に詫びる必要なんかない。
Also, it doesn't make me feel good to have him bow to me. Don't want to see him like that.
すまんな。
This time he slaps my shoulder more lightly.
ま、とにかくアーク社に行ってこい。
ああ、まあな。
いかんな、親戚付き合いも大切だぞ。日頃顔をつないでおかないと、俺みたいに親戚中から鼻つまみ者扱いされてしまう。
心配しなくても、俺も親父もすでに鼻つまみ者だろ。
それが分かっているなら、なおさらおばさんとは仲良くしとけ。そうそう、アキちゃんにもちゃんと会うんだぞ。親戚筋でお前を一番可愛がってくれた姉さんなんだからな。
Seeing her would make me feel guilty. It's the reason why I spent all these years dishonorably avoiding her. After all, I broke my promise, and I'm now using the simulacrum she made me to work as a goddamn mercenary.
何を迷子の子犬みたいな顔してやがるんだ。しっかりしろ。
Slaps my shoulder again, walks away, leaving only the reddish-skinned man, Mohawk.
おい、
What's up? Calls out to me with his deep voice. He's not smiling, which makes me feel like he's displeased. What does he want with me? Slightly tense, I look up at him.
俺に何か用か。
Silence. His arms folded. He just stares directly at me.
なんだ。
お前、本当は心の強い男だ。
いきなり何言ってるんだ。
He nods. He's like, yes, you're right. Tightens his bear-like fist and thrusts it toward me. Take a half step back and brace myself, but the punch stops right before my eyes. Something wrapped in pink on his palm.
食え。
甘いのは苦手か。
いや、嫌いじゃない。
よし。
Yush. I love his little smirk. He gives a big nod, turns his large back to me, and walks away.
何がよしな。
きっと注意と何か話が。
Ray and I begin walking through the empty airport. We walk out into Suzushiro.
お父様と仲が悪いと聞いていましたが。
レインの前でみっともない喧嘩はできないからな。それに、お互い痛いところには触れられない。
Mother, the dark side of this job, the way he interacts with me. If we talked about those things seriously, we'd just end up screaming at each other.
だから、どうしても親父との会話は上っ面だけのものになる。
それでも話ができるだけうちよりはマシです。
Rain's dad is a GU Army officer. Can't remember the details, but I'm quite sure her family situation is as complicated as
そ
mine.
れにしても話には聞いていましたが、コウさんがアーク社の社長と親戚とは驚き。
俺もたまに妙な気分になるよ。一番世話になった親戚のイメージと世間でいう AI 派の大御所のイメージが結びつかなくてさ。
世話になる。そういえば可愛がってくれた親戚がいるとか。
ああ、アキネのこと。
I wonder what she's up to now. What should we talk about when we meet?
先方に連絡を入れておいた方がいいのでは。
Rain smiles, clearly understanding what I'm feeling.
そうだな。
Figuring I'll say hi over a call first to run the appropriate tool.
アーク社所属西野明さんのアドレスを検索しました。
ああ。
Line connects a few seconds later, and a semi-transparent silhouette of Aki gets projected into my vision.
誰？
Her appearance is extremely familiar. She's changed so little that it makes my heart ache.
お久しぶり、アキネ。
I get no response. Is there a fault somewhere? She's not hearing me or something? No, that's not the case here. She sighs and starts muttering something to herself.
相変わらずネットにダイブしっぱなしなんだね。
こんな幻覚見れるなら。
俺は幻覚じゃないって。
幻覚が自己死した。
God, Aki.
あのね、ご無沙汰してたのは悪かったけど、
まさか。
当たり前だよ。分けて出たりするもんか。
Aki's face becomes strained, but then the visual stream gets cut off.
バカ。
Then all I hear is her tearful voice.
ごめ
Man.
ん。
本当にバカ。
本当にごめん。いきなりで驚かせたよな。説教されに行っていいかな。
来て。アーバルシティで待っているから。
ああ、わかった。
Still hiding her face, Aki cuts the line. The fact that I'm about to meet Aki is making me feel something strong. Of course it is, it's Aki. I guess that somewhere deep inside, I always wanted to see her. Of course you did, it's Aki.
連絡は取れたみたいですね。
Of course it did, it's Aki.
ああ、じゃあ行こうか。
We resume walking through the town.
それは詭弁だ。君の発言には全く誠意が感じ。
We arrive downtown and hear loud voices resound throughout the street.
君こそ建前ばかり並べおって身のある討論をする気はないのかね。
街頭演説。
そのようですね。ちょっと見ていきますか。
ああ、そうだな。
Oh boy. We start walking where the voices are coming from. I sure do love political debates. We follow them to a large screen on the side of the main street.
君は今さらナノ物質を禁止して食料と資源を枯渇させ、そうは言っておらん。ただ現状より厳しい規制をナノ関連の企業に要求すべきだと言っている。
We mix into the crowd and look up at the screen. Two suited men are having a debate. Their identities are displayed below them. One is the head of the council's pro-AI faction and the current minister of the defense of the city, Mayor Anon. The other is one of the council's anti-AI elite and the one who has connections to the GU army, Councilor Yonouchi. They're the representatives of two opposing groups, and I've heard they've been having debates like this for a while.
地下施設の廃棄放置が市の環境悪化の一因となっているのだぞ。何を言う。犯罪の温床である無名都市をネット上でのほうずにさせていることの方が問題だ。話をすり替えるな。今も市内にあふれる難民をナノマシンの恩恵なしに一体どうか。そこに逃げ出して現実を見ようとしない若者に職を与えることの方が先決だろう。君、いい加減にさも。
The angered counselor throws the water from his cup all over his opponent and turns the debate show into a pro wrestling
や
stream.
れやれ、あれでは全く論戦になっていません。
まったくだな。
Shinatsu. I was looking at Rain as we talked, so I accidentally bumped into someone.
あ、すみません。
いや、こっちもよそ見をしていた。
Woman's eyes open wide in surprise.
千夏？
Her name escapes my lips.
Oh.
She and I just look at each other. I haven't heard from her since Great Christmas. The fact that we met here, of all places, surprises me, but more than that,
千夏？
my heart is suddenly filled with joy. I actually got to see her again. Try to put my hand on her shoulder, but
うん。もちろん覚えてるよ。
she avoids it in a manner that makes me feel like she hates me.
すまん。
うん。久しぶりだね。私も嬉しいよ。
Shatsu looks at her fingertips and speaks with a flat, emotionless voice. Just like in our school years, she has a ponytail trailing behind her. However, the general feel about her seems to have changed. The constant smile on her face was now replaced by a gloomy expression.
しかし、涼しろしに
まあ。ね。
She answers curtly and without even looking at my eyes. Her cold reaction freezes the joy I feel from meeting her again.
千夏？
A memory from my last Christmas goes through my mind.
いいから黙って受け取って。クリスマスプレゼントにちょっとした希望をちょうだい。
That Christmas is lost. Not because I didn't pick Chinatsu, but because it was painted gray. However, I still don't know what happened to Chinatsu back
じ
then.
ゃあこう。
Not even having a proper talk with me, Chinatsu starts walking away.
待てよ千夏！久しぶりに会ったんだ。
ごめん。私今忙しいんだ。
じゃあ、俺の今の連絡先だけでも受け取ってくれ。
もちろん。
I send her my Karakura transportation card and instantly get an address
こ
back.
れって
私忙しいから。
Hearing her words makes me heave a sigh of relief. She's probably just being polite, but at least it doesn't look like she wants to cut all ties with me.
じゃあね、こう。
So she runs away without looking back.
注意。今の女性、昔のお知り合いで
I've
す。
never met that woman before in my life. What are you talking about, Rain? After not saying a word during me and Chinatsu's exchange, Rain finally speaks up in a mild tone.
ああ、学園時代の友達さ。昔お前にも少し話をしたことが。
ええ、覚えています。確か渚千夏さんでしたよね。
さすがだな。すごい記憶力だ。
On the other hand, I still have holes all over my own head. It's almost like the Swiss cheese you see in a manga. You've already used the Swiss cheese analogy, but
面会の時刻が迫っています。注意。
そうだな。でかくなったもんだよな。
I look over it and sigh. Ark's main building is a gigantic construction on the outskirts of the city. Its smooth walls look like shiny marble, but
結合超密素材。核や軍グニールの直撃以外ではびく
軍事施設並みだな。おばさんも随分と羽振りが良さそうだ。
We enter the giant office building. The people are scarce, and there's silence all around us. The hallways are windowless and seem to extend forever.
幻想的な光景ですね。
おばさんの親族の趣味なんだ。あっちとこっちの境界をあえて曖昧にするような様式で。
そうなんですか。
さてと。
門倉光様、前方の通路を右にお曲がりください。
ちゃんとモニターしてくれているようですね。
Rain's voice echoes throughout the deserted hallway. This inorganic scene looks somewhat like the Nishino residence. Back when I was a kid, Aki led me by the hand and...
来る。だったら
逃避。
これ私たち
ダイブしろってこと？
こうも移植処置は終わってる。違う？
Of course, by this point, my brain chip was already fully functional. The nanomachines injected into the brain when you're an infant form a biochip in the brain and eventually make a neurojack.
だけど。
どうしてもしかして
何？
没入未体験者。
授業じゃ何回か没入し。
授業？学習用のローカルネットなんてただ。
Aki lightly scoffs at
行
them.
こう。本当のネットを教えてあげる。
でも僕らまだ子供だし、学校の外でダイブするときは保護者が一緒じゃないと。
私。
Aki forces the neurojack into me. Whoa, what a noise, bud. The cold jack pushes open the artificial muscle, and the chill makes me let out a yelp.
ごめん。
I'm embarrassed. Unable to look at her face, I hang my head in shame. I don't know what she's thinking, but she starts repeatedly moving the neurojack in and out. Aki comes back to her senses and stops.
ごめん。
ね、人の体で遊ばないでほしいな。
理解してる。
よっぽど。
なんでもない。
She now inserts the whole neurojack as if it's no big deal. She just neurofucked me. Aki connects the other end of the wire to herself and partly closes her eyes.
適正調査。こうはまだワイヤレスは無理。けどワイヤードならいけそう。
いけそう。
Another new sensation makes me raise my voice.
静かに。今。
Brain chip is activated and a program is written into it. As I am now, I know the feeling well, but back then, it completely surprised me. It's not a natural sensation, but your mind can just feel the progress bar getting filled up.
これって。
だいぶ用ツール。
Still don't know if we should leave into the outer net. Overcome by a mix of worry and excitement, I begin to shake.
怖い？大丈夫。
Aki grasps my hand as I hear a machine voice whisper from the inside of my head. My and Aki's chips are now linked. The data flowing in feels like a pulse. So this is what being a second gen feels like. This was the first time I truly realized that my brain is a bio machine.
怖がらないで。これは何億もの人が体験したプロセス。戻ってこられなかった人はいない。
でも、たまに戻って。
それは戻れなくなるようなことをしたあっちは、ここと違ったもう一つの世界。
Aki closes her mouth as if she's tired of speaking. She stares at me with her doll-like face.
ルールなんて言われても。
そう。
She nods at me. Suddenly my consciousness is blown away to an impossible direction. Before I realize it, I'm standing in a world I'm seeing for the first time. The sky isn't blue and doesn't have any stars. There's just a shining grid. We're in a structure bigger than a mountain. There are countless people flying around like angels.
これがあっち側？
It's nothing like the one in school.
Go.
Turn around and see Aki. Her hair is flying about the space behind her. She's smiling at me. The expression makes it seem like going to cyberspace was like dropping a heavy weight for her.
ようこそ。ここが私たちの世界。
Oh, yeah. This was actually the first time I ever saw her make a gentle expression.
ハローワールド。注意。
Rain's voice brings me back from the flashback.
すまん。
ならいいのですが、目的地に着いたようですよ。
右手のドアからお入りください。立花社長がお待ちです。
Guided by that machine voice, we enter the room where my aunt awaits. Beyond the door lies an absolutely gigantic space.
これは一体。
Its metal walls and internal structures stretch out so far as the eye can see. It's an all too massive man-made space, almost like a space colony of sorts.
俺は見覚えがあるな。
いつの間にかダイブさせられています。
Even Rain's got cold sweat pouring down her forehead at all this.
電脳化された人間しかこの先には行けないってことだな。
Art can force people to dive, then they surely have a log of all we do here. That also means that they're observing our bodies too.
だく
注意してください。どうやらここはリン。
We cautiously walk down a passage. I can see a giant iris bulb at the end of it. Going by the structures around it, probably has a diameter of a few hundred virtual meters.
さすがバーチャル最大の企業ですね。州の SQAI の管理を任されているだけあります。
おばさんは AI の申し子みたいな人だ。
She was among the first to go through the treatment to connect to the AI 24/7. In a way, she's like a pioneer for us second gens. She then used that ability to build up Ark in just one generation. She's a legendary woman in terms of both her administrative and scientific skills. It's strange to think that such a person is my mother's little sister.
失礼します。
Clear my throat and open the door. Within that sparkling crystal palace stands Sera Tachibana, looking the same as ever.
お久しぶりね、コウさん。
She greets me with an aloof voice. Her eyes are pointed in my general direction. It feels like she's looking past me and gazing into the distance.
ご無沙汰しています。おばさん。
Overwhelmed by her presence, I inadvertently give her a deep bow.
遅いぞ。どこで道草を食っていた？
But
おいおい、なんで親父がここにいるんだ？
没入したからに決まってるだろう。
because I
そ
dived,
して
duh.
俺もここに野暮用があったのさ。
俺にはアークにお使いに行けと言っていたくせに。
息子にデートをさせてやろうとの心遣いだ。ま、そう受け止めておいてくれ。
しかし
親戚として世間話をしに来たわけじゃないんだな、これ。
そう。フェンリルのクライアントは我々、アーク氏。
She stares at me with her crystalline eyes. No matter how hard I look into them, I can't read her intentions at all. The old man stares at me, not saying a word. Crap. I guess he's trying to get me to understand the situation by letting Aunt Sarah herself tell me all about it.
不思議に思っているでしょうね。民間企業の我々がなぜ彼らを追っているか。
ええ、まあそうですね。
Then again, modern multi-state corporations have more power than the weaker state governments. Larger PMCs also have more power than the weaker state armies. Nation-states of old are losing their grip over the world. Now it's the GU, corporations, and certain other players that have it in hand.
私たちはどうしても栗原直樹を捕まえなければならない。
理由を尋ねてもいいですか？
因縁かしらね。
Destiny. They're not in this to stop Assembler's outflow. And she still likes being mysterious. Turn to my old man and see that he's now making a stern, bitter expression.
他に何か聞いておきたいことはあるかし
That is some question, considering she still hasn't told me anything specific. Since we both share a goal in finding Drexler, I'll use Ark's information, just like Fenrir and Ark will use me as a soldier.
とりあえずだ。お前と霧島醤油はフリータイムだ。
基地に戻らなくていいの？
休暇をやると言っただろう。今のうちに休んでおけ。今にきっと。
He grimaces and leaves.
ら。アキさんにはあったかしら。
いえ、これから会いに行くところですけど。
あの子は我が社自慢の仮想空間都市なの。あなたもね、霧島レインさん。
Suddenly pulled into the conversation, Rain blinked in surprise.
はい。
じゃあ失礼します。
We leave the room together.
待って、霧島レイン。
はい。
あなたにはコウさんが随分お世話になったよね。ありがとう。おばとして礼を言わせてもらうわ。
いえ、周囲は私の恩人ですから。
忘れないで。あなた自身もコウさんの恩人。
ありがとうございます、セイラ社長。
Rain forms a faint smile and bows, and Sarah looks at her. For some reason, I feel like her gaze is sad. We're greeted by gentle sunlight and the chirps of
こ
songbirds.
こが仮想空間か。
There's a blue sky and white clouds above us. The green of the grass and trees is too dazzling for my poor eyes, which are too used to Suzushiro. Buildings are constructed in harmony with the surrounding land. They're somewhat eccentric, but really bright and clean.
ガキの頃 こんな光景をホロで見たことがある気がするよ。そう、未来都市予想図とかそんな感じで。
叶えられなかった人類の夢を。
For her part, Rain's also staring at the glittering city with her eyes wide open. Looking at this all too beautiful sight makes me fully understand everything we've lost. A nostalgic voice reaches me almost immediately after.
こう
Turning to face the source, I'm greeted by the sight of Aki atop a small hill. This leaves me speechless for a moment. What am I supposed to say here? A number of possible responses swirl around in my
た
head.
だいま。
Finally managed to mutter something that feels right.
おかえり。
Thinking that was our sign, we run toward each other and clasp
待っ
hands.
ていてくれたんだね。
何年も。
She squeezes tight, almost as if she's convinced that I'll disappear if she lets
も
go.
う会えないかと思ってた。
ごめん。
バカ。どうしてメールの返事ぐらい。
気まずかったんだ。俺は約束を破って。
私知ってた。
本当にごめん。
うんでもいい。こうして会えたし。
She forms a smile. Suddenly, I'm attacked by a headache.
どうしたの？
コウさんは具合が良くないのです。
あなたは。
Aki finally realizes that Rain is here with
は
me.
じめまして。コウさんの部下の霧島レインと申します。
Rain bows her head, which makes Aki panic and do the
ご
same.
丁寧に。私、西野明。
はい、コウさんのはとこさん。
はい。私、姉さん代わり。
She shoots me a glance as she replies. Doesn't take a psychic to realize she's curious about my relationship with
とに
Rain.
かくどこか落ち着ける場所はないかな。
だったら、一緒に来て。
She flashes a smirk before dragging me
そ
along.
れではごゆっくり。
あれレインは来ないのか？
久々に会われたのですから。どうぞ、私のことは気にしないでください。
She gives a slight bow and walks away towards the city.
彼女、行かせちゃっていいの？
最初に言っておくけど、
そんな関係。
とりあえず詳しい話は歩きながらしようよ。
うん。
We tread along a pathway lined with greenery. I give a simple explanation of the
そう。
situation.
こうは今はお父さんの舞台にいるのね。
ああ、いろいろ事情があってね。
事情。
Aki heaves a downhearted sigh.
目的はやっぱり先生。
あきね。
She probably knows about the relationship between Ark and Fenrir
す
too.
ごいな。
わからないわけがない。理由だって。こうは先生のことを疑っ。
疑ってるけど確信はない。
そう。
She looks up at the sky with a lonely looking face. I'll just change the subject. I don't want to sadden her with all this talk of Kurihara and
と
war.
ころで、アキネは今アークで働いているんだよ。
うん。空間デザイナーに抜擢。今やここらのエリアの責任者。
そいつはすごいや。
I stop for a moment to take in my surroundings. They're oddly nostalgic, almost as if I've walked through this exact path sometime in the
う
past.
ん。正確に言えば再構成した。
再構成って。
I think it's along the path catch my eye before I can finish my question. Remembered all too much of the path Masa and I took to and from the academy every day, one where we first dived.
やっと。
じゃあ
Grab Aki's hand and dash off. Assuming I'm right, then it's just beyond here. One place I can truly call home.
走っちゃ危ない。疲れる。
Give her a piggyback.
ああ、じゃあ、
Yeah.
俺の背中に捕まって。
I hoist Aki out of my back, then continue my mad dash down the
た
path.
くましくなったね。
I can hear her whisper as she pushes her cheek against my
会
back.
うたびに大きくなってる。
そうかな。別に背が伸びたりしてないだろ。
そういう意味じゃないよ。
A familiar cherry blossom comes into view along the way, meaning my destination is just around the corner.
如月寮だ。
It's a sight I fully expected, yet one that still renders me speechless.
迷ったけど、やっぱり作ってみたくなって。
Aki pops herself back onto her feet before staring me in the eye. She wants to know if she made the right decision or not, and honestly, I can't blame her. This is a special place to us, but also one that brings back painful memories.
すごいや、アキネ。
That's why I make it a point to give her the brightest smile possible.
私は再現の手助けをしただ
She blushes, scratches her head a bit, then takes a deep breath.
け。青州学園のマザーは、だからマザーの中にはその残ったデータを再構成してクサラギ寮を再現してみたわけ。
She gets tired after saying that all at once and takes a breather. Some things never change.
でも確かマザーは灰色のクリスマスで亡くなったんじゃ。
アークの AI イブはマザーと姉妹関係。マザーの崩壊後イブがそのメモリーを継承したの。
そうか。マザーは亡くなってもそのメモリーは生き続けているんだね。
There's a hint of sadness on her face as she nods. I know how she feels. Mother literally was a parental figure of sorts to all Seishi's students. She had no personality and resembled us even less than NPCs, but we loved and respected her all the same. I made all too aware of the fact now that she's gone.
でもアキネ、イブはどの程度の記憶を継承したのかな。マザーは崩壊寸前までの記憶を持っていたって噂が、噂通り灰色のクリスマス当時のことをイブが継承しているとしたら。
それは
Her expression becomes gloomy
ご
again.
めん、妙なことを聞いたね。でも別に問い詰める気はないから安心して。
気にしない。
She lightly places her hand on my head.
こうあの子に会ってあげて。そ
I
ろそ
don't
ろ
want to meet
ご
her.
飯ができ
Just
る
had a whole route with her. I don't want to deal with her. I want to be with you.
あの
For a moment, I don't understand what she's saying. Suddenly, I notice the smell of miso coming from the dorm. It's no ordinary soup, though. The smell of chives is impossible to
行
miss.
っておいで。こう
But Aki. After she says that, I open the door and run inside. I hear an all too familiar voice upon doing so. It's quiet and kind. Simply hearing it is enough to shut my brain down for a moment. Quiet footsteps make their way closer to me. The rhythm of my heartbeat aligns with them. I almost forgot to breathe once my brain registers the sight of Nanoa. A dear friend of mine, one I've known since I was a kid, but also one I haven't been in contact with since Great Christmas.
ナノハ。
She starts running toward me, her face already drenched in tears. Then plants said face directly into the floor.
おい、大丈夫か、ナノハ。
I rip my shoes off and leap over to her. She jumps back to her feet as I do so, wasting no time in latching on to me.
そうか、そんなに痛かったか。
She continues to cling to me as she bawls her eyes out. I'm honestly on the brink of crying myself, but there's also a part of me that's worried this isn't
お
real.
前、本物のナノハだよな。
I unwittingly embrace her tight. Her body is small, but it's enough to make my heart overflow with warmth.
無論本物。もうシミュラクラは作らない。
She doesn't sound too pleased, but those were the words I needed to fully accept this situation.
久しぶりだな、ナノハ。ああ、仮想だけど現実だ。もう相変わらず泣き虫だな、お前。本当に変わってないな。
I hold her tight as she continues to cry her eyes out. Her hair smells just like it used to, like the scent of sunshine.
感動の再会中だけど。
Aki ruins the moment by making us notice the sound of an overflowing pot from the kitchen. She says while still refusing to let go of me.
はいはい、仕方がないな。
I make my way over to the kitchen, Nanoa still clinging to me all the while.